Hi everybody, it is Chef Carol, and today we're going to be doing another process nature art lesson, and we're going to be hammering some flower and flower petals. So the first thing I want you to do is take a look at how I've set up my desktop. I've put some paper down so that I don't make a mess of my pretty table. And just like when we are in the nutrition lab and we want to get all of our ingredients and all of our tools ready, and we call that mise en place, I've done the same thing for my art lesson. So I have all the tools I'm going to need. I've got all my materials, everything ready so I can go ahead with my project. So we are going to be taking some petals from some flowers. So I have some beautiful red petals from, I guess this was a rose that is no longer alive, and I only need a few. So if you're going to be going outside to make a collection of some petals, one of the things I wanted to show you is you do not need to pick a whole flower from a beautiful plant. All you really need are a few petals. So this is from a carnation, and I know it's not nice to say that you have favorite and not favorite flowers, but the carnation, for some reason, is just not my favorite. So I just need a few. So please remember, you don't need to pick a whole flower for this project. I also have this pretty little purple flower that came from a bouquet of flowers that was given to me as a gift today. And they're so pretty. They're really little. I'm going to pick a whole bunch of these ones because I love the color purple. And I'm going to want to use a whole bunch of these colors. There we go. I also have another favorite, and it is a sunflower. And I'm going to go ahead and maybe pick about maybe just 4 of these petals. And if you're ever picking petals from a garden that doesn't belong to you, make sure you ask for permission. There we go. So I might even take actually some of these green leaves. I wonder how they'll turn out. So I've got all of my materials ready. I'm going to put these all aside over here. I'm going to move them all up to the corner. And we're just going to be making a design today. Maybe even take some of these beautiful pink little petals. Aren't they pretty? This is also from an older bouquet of flowers. So sometimes pale colors like this don't really turn out with very vibrant colors for this project, but we are going to experiment. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to do 2 different pictures. First one I'm going to do is just going to take a piece of plain white paper, put it down nice and flat, and then I'm going to start to pick my petals. I'm just going to do a design. I'm going to pick a beautiful orangey red petal. I'm going to pick some of the carnation petals. I'm going to put them all rather closely together. I'm going to pick some of the beautiful petals from the sunflower. I'm even going to pick some of these beautiful little purple flowers, put them over here. I can just make a design because right now I'm kind of just experimenting. The next thing I'm going to do is take either another piece of plain white paper and lay it over top, or I'm just going to take a piece of paper towel and I'm going to put it on top, press it down, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hammer on top of the paper towel. But I happen to have a hammer. If you are going to use a hammer, make sure you always ask permission first from somebody at home to use the hammer. I want to show you what I'm going to do though. I'm not going to hold it at the handle. I'm going to kind of choke up hard on here when I use my hammer. So are you ready? Here I go. I'm going to be hammering, try to find right where the flowers are. And you can see how the color is already coming through. There's no sense for me to hammer over here because I know I have no petals under there. Ooh. Now I'm going to put my hammer down. I'm going to show you a few other things I could use to hammer. I can use this as a kitchen tool that I use actually when I'm making little fillets of chicken. I could hammer with this. This is very heavy. I could hammer with a spoon like this. I could hammer with the bottom of this marble base of this little bowl. I'm going to put these aside. So now watch what's going to happen. I'm going to very carefully lift this up. And I actually have more than one piece of art here because look how pretty that is. That would be really cool if you wanted to decorate it as a napkin to have dinner with tonight. Isn't that pretty? You could just roll it up like this and then put it next to the plate and put your fork or your spoon or your knife on top of there. But what I want to do is I'm going to take a look at this. Come nice and close. I'm going to pick up some of these flower petals, and you can see how they've left the pigments from their petals right on the design. So that's one way of making a beautiful hammered flower piece of art. I might want to take markers or pencils or crayons and make a beautiful design along the border or the perimeter of the paper. But now I'm going to show you another idea that I had. I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to make something. It's going to look a little bit like this. I'll show you what it looks like when it's all finished. Can you guess what it is? It's a bookmark. So I've taken a piece of heavier paper. It's cardboard. I cut a little hole in the top, and then I took a piece of ribbon like this and tied it through, and I made a hammered flower bookmark. And I'm going to show you how I do it. I'm going to put this aside. So what I really need is a piece of heavier cardboard and paper, and I'm going to use a piece of an old file, of an old piece of a folder, file folder, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut my bookmark. Just going to try to estimate carefully. There we go. I've got enough cardboard here that I could probably make enough bookmarks for everybody in my family and make a little gift for them. So I want to poke a hole at the very top that I'm going to put my ribbon through. So there's a few ways of doing it. One way is I could fold this over, oopsies, and I could just cut a little triangle here, just like that. And then I have a hole. The other thing I could do is I could take a tool like this, a protractor, and I actually, I'll show you, could very carefully poke a little hole inside like that. So many ways of making a hole. You could use a pen or a pencil, but I've got my hole already. Now we're going to do the same thing over again. This time I think I'm going to take this nice big fuchsia pink one. I love the way that the sunflower petals came out. I'm going to take one, I'm going to take two, and I'm going to try to put as many on here as I can. I'm going to try the green leaf again at the top. Oh, I'm looking for those beautiful purple flowers and put a whole bunch of them on here. Trying to kind of make a design. Take some more of these purple flowers and put them here, and another one here, and oh, maybe I'll take this. These roses came out really well, and we can even overlap them. Put one here, and so beautiful how there's this beautiful yellow at the very base of the rose petal, and another one here. Now I'm going to take my paper towel again. I'm going to reuse it. I'm going to put it right over top. I'm going to take my hammer, and here I go. Maybe what I'll do is I am going to sing a song while I do it. Okay? Actually, maybe I'm just going to sing the whole alphabet while I do it to make sure I press it all the way. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABC. Next time, won't you sing with me? I'm going to keep going because I want to get as much color as I can onto my bookmark. All right, let's take a peek. I'm going to very carefully lift up my petals. And I got a little bit of color. I didn't get a whole lot, but that sure is pretty, isn't it? So if I wanted to add more, I could repeat and do the whole thing, but I'm actually kind of happy with the way that looks. So I don't think I'm going to add any more because I think what I might do is I might write a little message on the bookmark instead. So I'm going to take this and tie a nice little ribbon knot. And I'm going to definitely put this tonight inside of my favorite book that I'm reading right now. And if I had a pen, I might just write a little note to somebody or a little message to myself. And those are two great ideas for making a hammered flower piece of art. And we're all done. Thanks.